It has been a hot second since we had a language study vlog, but I am so excited to be filming this video again because after a 3-month break from language learning, we are finally back. Technically, I've been kind of back into language learning for the past 2 weeks, so I have a bunch of flashcards made in all of my languages on an app called Anki, and I have been reviewing those flashcards every single day for the past 2 weeks. Anyway, what I'm gonna do first is, in my last video, it was a decluttering vlog, and what I ended up doing is I had a bunch of TikTok saved videos that I wanted to get through, and I had all these French videos that I saved because I wanted to like write down all the vocab and all the sentence structures and everything down from it. And what I did in that video is I wrote them out into my Notion, but I never actually converted that into like flashcards and vocab and all of that because that wasn't like a language study day, that was a decluttering day. We have this list right here. It's very random. I probably shouldn't be starting with these sentences. I should be like getting my grammar down and stuff, but we're gonna do that later. I always start with things that I enjoy the most. I also learned this thing from TikTok that was like Brian is in the kitchen. So basically it's like a French meme. Whenever they start learning French in school, they always learn Brian is in the kitchen.
There is an ongoing meme in France, I've already spoken on this, that Brian is in the kitchen. It's something that everybody learns in school, and then there was some comedian that started making jokes about it. Brian is in the kitchen.
That phrase apparently everybody knows, and it's like, I'm not gonna make a flashcard on Brian is at the kitchen, but I also want to remember that that's like a French thing. Anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna do with those, but maybe I'll just keep those as notes, and anything that can be made into a flashcard is gonna be made into a flashcard. I'm gonna now send these expressions to my French friends, and I'm gonna ask them if there's any of these that are like completely not used. A lot of the times when people learn English, they learn the phrase like it's raining cats and dogs, and to be honest, I think I've only heard that phrase said naturally like twice in my life, but it exists. It's good to know, you know, even though it's not very like widely used. But I want to know if all of these are widely used, or maybe like some of them they've never even heard before, which is then like probably a little bit pointless for me to learn. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a little bit of grammar study on YouTube. So I got this tip from another language YouTuber. Her name is Ijlal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm gonna put her channel there. I love her. She's so freaking cool. She's so disciplined and dedicated to all of her language studying. Honestly, biggest inspiration ever. But one of the tips that she had was to literally just type in the language that you're learning and like A1 and look up playlists, and you'll find YouTube playlists for like specifically that level. Okay, so I have confirmation from my friends. Most of the phrases I wrote down are used. My friends said one of them they don't really use at all, but apart from that, all of them are actually used, which I'm very happy about because I thought it was gonna be like a phrase like what I mentioned earlier, like raining cats and dogs. People know it, but like nobody uses it. But yeah, this is good. This is good because I actually have useful phrases then. Anyway, I have been going through the French Essentials course playlist on YouTube by Learn French with Alexa. So this is the playlist that Ijlal recommended, and it's really good so far. I mean, I'm only through the first 3 videos, and yeah, my plan is to go through all of them, even if I already think I know everything in the video. So for example, like French numbers 1 to 20, I already know the numbers 1 to 20, but first of all, it's a little bit of revision. Second of all, she might say something that I didn't know, or like a tip. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to skip any of these videos. So we're gonna take a break, and I'm also gonna do a little bit of like chill, very enjoyable study while I'm eating my lunch because this is a study day and we're making the most out of it. Okay, so I decided I'm gonna watch a documentary while I'm eating. So I'm gonna watch a documentary called Angèle, which is about a Belgian singer called Angèle. I know her songs, but I don't know anything about her. Like, I have maybe like 5 of her songs saved and I love them, but all I know is that her name is Angèle, she's from Belgium, she sings in French, and like she speaks French, and I know what she looks like. That's it. I don't know anything about her, so I think this is gonna be quite interesting. It's on Netflix, but I'm gonna use my Lingopie extension so that I can make studying a little bit easier, because anytime I don't know a word, I'll just click on it, and also there's like the bilingual subtitles. So actually, I want to tell you guys a little bit about Lingopie because they're actually the sponsor of today's video, and also probably one of my favorite tools that I use for language learning. learning. So for those of you guys that have never heard of LingoPie, it is essentially a language learning platform that feels like Netflix for your target language. They not only have TV shows and movies, they also have like music and stories and lessons. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're watching a TV show or a movie or something, you can get subtitles both in your target language and also in English, or just in your target language. So for example, I have the choice. I can have the subtitles just in French, I can have French and English, or I can have just English. Like, it's fully up to me, fully customizable. And anytime I don't know a word, I click on it and it shows me the definition of that word, so I can just understand the context in the moment. But then it automatically also saves to a flashcard deck, so that when I finish watching whatever I was watching and I have time to study a little bit, I already have a flashcard deck pre-made. I don't have to do anything. Like, it cuts out so many of the middlemen and it lets you study so much more efficiently, because whenever you just want to chill and lay back and watch a show or watch a documentary like I'm gonna do now, it's very chill. Like, anytime you don't know a word, you just click on it, and then whenever you're ready to sit and properly study, everything is already made for you and you just have to show up. So the languages that LingoPie currently offer are Spanish, Mexican Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Russian, Dutch, and Turkish. And yeah, if you want to make your language learning journey much more fun and you want to try out LingoPie for free, then there's going to be a link in my description, so you can press it, join, try it out, let me know if you like it. And yeah, thank you LingoPie for sponsoring this video. I'm gonna go watch my Angel documentary, and maybe after food I'll review some of those flashcards that I saved from watching, and then we're gonna move on to studying Thai. So time to move on to Thai. I think today we're just gonna focus on reading and writing, because even though I can speak a tiny bit of Thai, I cannot read or write Thai, because most of the time people don't actually recommend to start with the Thai alphabet because it's one of the most complex writing systems in this world. And it's actually one of my goals for 2025. One of my goals was to learn to read in Thai, not even necessarily reach a certain speaking level, just read. Earlier this year, I was in Thailand for 2 months, and for one of those months, I was doing an intensive Thai course in a Thai language school. So I was studying like 4 to 5 hours every single day of Thai, and I learned so much so quickly. Like, I was able to have a very, very, very basic conversation by the end of that month. But then I feel like I got a little bit burnt out from that month because I was studying all the time nonstop, and I wasn't used to it. So in February, I decided to take a little bit of a break from reviewing my flashcards, and because I learned it so fast, I also lost it really fast. And if I was just maintaining and like keeping up with my flashcards every day, then all of that knowledge would still be here. Like, yes, I learned it quickly, but I also understand everything we learned. Like, all the sentence structures, everything, like, I understand it. The logic is there. It's just the memory of the vocab is kind of gone. So where I'm at right now is, instead of actively learning new things in Thai, I actually just want to get back to getting through all of my flashcards from that month, because in that 1 month, I made 2,000 Thai flashcards. So I basically reset all of my progress on Anki for that like flashcard deck, and I'm now relearning everything I learned in that 1 month. And then once I have all of that vocab down and I have all those flashcards learned and I remember everything that I learned in that course, then I'm gonna learn new things. But for now, we're just doing Anki and also learning the alphabet. So the book that I'm using to learn how to read and write in Thai is called Read Thai in 10 Days, and the author of this book is actually the director of the school that I went to, which is kind of crazy because I bought this book before I started the course, and then I remember I started the course and I was like, oh my god, this is the same guy. Like, the guy that wrote this book is the director of this language school. The concept of this book is that you can learn how to read and write Thai in 10 days. Personally, I don't think I can. There's so many letters to remember, and I actually had this book, like the physical copy of it, I had it when I was in Thailand, and before I started my course, I started learning how to write, and I think I got to day 5, which like I got halfway through the book, and I was like, you cannot be learning all of this every day. Like, for me, I think it would take me about a month to get through this book comfortably. I'm not trying to learn to read in 10 days because honestly, that's a big task. So this is another thing. There's 2 fonts in Thai. Obviously, there's thousands of fonts, but mostly when I was in Bangkok and I was like driving around the city, I did not see things written in this font as often. Like, obviously all the road signs and stuff, all of them were in this font, but all the advertisements, everything in the shops, everything was in this font. I was halfway through the book. I technically knew like half of the letters, but I still couldn't read like half of the advertisements because it's not common sense. How am I supposed to know that this is this or this is this? So this time I'm restarting this book, but I'm also learning both of the fonts, not just the traditional one. I feel like I'm a kid in school trying to learn again. Like, I'm just not used to these shapes. We're not even gonna talk about the fact that there's also a cursive handwriting. Not today. Okay, so I finished revising 14 letters, so I'm now gonna try to read some words with those letters. And there's also actually an audio track that comes with this when I bought this book. So let me open up the audio track so I can hear if I'm right. Na.
Na.
Yao.
Yao.
Leo.
Leo.
Okay, the writing does not look how I want to look because I'm not used to writing with my iPad. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna divide these phrases and sentences into words based on where I think the word ends, based on the vowels and letters and stuff. Rai, neo, yao. Na,
Ni.
ru, mu. Okay, now I'm gonna try to rewrite these in that font that I never learned. So I don't know how well this is gonna go because that font still confuses me. Like this, okay, fine, I remember, but the other font, I don't know. That looks so different. It's actually crazy. Okay, and with that, I think that's it for my Thai study for today. For now, I'm happy. I can read these, I can write them, and everything's good. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break for a couple of hours to work and also let my brain decompress from all of that because that was intense after not reviewing all of that in a long time. My brain, she's been woken up. But later this evening, we're gonna study some Bisaya, very chill study as well. For those of you that don't know what Bisaya is, because I had never heard of Bisaya a couple of months ago, Bisaya is one of the many languages spoken in the Philippines. I think is the second or third most spoken, but that is the language that is primarily spoken in Siargao, which is the island that I was on for 3 months this year, and I'm going back there soon as well. And obviously they have their own dialect, so Siargaonan is actually the language that is spoken there, but since there's a lot of people from different islands as well, Bisaya is like the umbrella language that they all speak. There's really not many resources for Bisaya, so right now I'm just learning Bisaya with a YouTube channel, which is, what is it called again? Bisaya Classroom by Jonah, which, oh my god, she posted a video 2 weeks ago. Stop, I'm so happy because basically, like I said, there's not many resources at all. So I've been studying with her channel, but she only has like a limited amount of videos and she stopped posting about 10 months ago. And I was like, this is so sad because my only good resource for Bisaya is gonna be like no longer active because she's not posting anymore. But obviously I haven't studied Bisaya properly in the last 2 weeks, so I didn't see that she uploaded, but she's back. I'm so happy. Okay, anyway, we're gonna take a work break and then we're gonna study some Bisaya in the evening. Okay, I'm finished with work for the day, so it's time for some Bisaya. We have Simba. Oi, извини. Я что испугала, бедный. Извини. So like I said, there's extremely limited resources for Bisaya. Like there's really not that much out there. So I'm gonna watch the YouTube channel that I mentioned earlier because I still haven't watched all of her videos. And the nice thing is I actually like that she has them laid out in lessons. So I'm currently on lesson 10, I think. Okay, she has 24 official lessons, but then after the 24th lesson, she still has a lot of videos. So technically, let's say there's like 30 lessons. I'm only 1/3 through all the lessons. So I'm not gonna complain about not having resources because I haven't actually used up the one resource that I do have. Simba, what language do you want to speak? He's actually a native Russian speaker. So even though he has never been in a Russian speaking country, my mom only speaks to him in Russian. So he only basically understands Russian. Anyway, let's start learning Bisaya. Bisaya is the second most widely spoken language in the Philippines next to Tagalog or Filipino. So I mentioned that earlier, so it is.
Next is the future, so say magtinong or mo-tinong.
Okay, it's almost 9 p.m. and I think I can say my brain is almost officially fried. So Simba and I are gonna get ready to sleep. I mean, he's already doing what he has to do. Thank you guys for joining me on this language vlog. It was definitely a very chatty one, but I'm having so much fun with studying, so I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know if you want to see more. So, bye! Simba, пока! Кто дома?